Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the EcoStruxure Machine Expert HVAC. I'm your host, Leandro Romada, and in this video what we're going to see is the IOScanner feature that we have for the Modbus serial on a Modicon M172. So let's go to the software. So far if you follow the series of videos, you know how to configure the Modbus serial, even if it's a slave or master. You already know how to use the function block. Now let's try to use it in a easiest way using the IOScanner. So what we need to do is to go here into the master, okay, right click and add a device. Okay, so by default you can see here that we have some drives already to read information to. We have some of the third-party drive motors, and we have from expansion valves, we have the temperature sensor, the humidity temperature sensor, and then we have the generic. So on this particular video, I'm going to show you how to connect a third-party device. In my case, it's a Modicon M171, okay, the same that we used in the previous video using the function blocks, but now the IOScanner. So generic Modbus, select. Here you can rename it here or there. So PLC M221, okay, and I can check here PLC M221. That's fine. Here we need to specify the Modbus address. So the first thing is to go check which is the actual configuration of the master and which is the configuration of the slave, and see which are the limitations of the slave in terms of the communication, because some devices are only allowed to use one baud rate or a different configuration of the bits. So that's the first thing that we need to check. So on the M221, okay, the actual configuration I have is 19200 even 81, and this device is the slave number 10. So this is the information, the minimum information that I need right now in order to configure my master. So that configuration is today done. Okay, so here Modbus address is going to be number 10. Okay, the not number, that's something that we cover later, okay, which is related to the diagnostics. Okay, but right now they want you to communicate to the device. Then we're gonna see if there is any issue and how we can sort it out. Okay, so here word swap or not, I'm not going to swap any words here. So this is the configuration, the minimum information that I need. Now in Modbus serial, Modbus, in order to communicate with the other device, we need to use functions, and those functions depend on the register that we're going to read information from the slave or write information to the slave. We have a specific function number. Okay, that function number is shown here in the catalog. Here you can see. So if I want to read a holding register, I need this function number 3. If I need to use a single register, you need to use the Modbus function 6. And if I need to use multiple registers, okay, continuous registers, I just need to use the function 16. Okay, so this is the complete information, and that information, in order to know what to read and write, you need to contact the hardware manual of the third-party device that you're going to communicate with. So in my case, I'm going to read 5 continuous register for the M221, starting from the MW50, and I'm going to write 5 registers starting from the MW60. So what we need to do is to drag and drop into here or add multiple registers. Simple as that. So in order to understand much better what's going on, you can change the names over here. Okay, you can click and then click again, so you should be able to see this. So you can put, for example, read MW50 I don't know if F2 works here. Yeah, F2 also works. And RWR MW60. So this is to read and write register. So this is similar to what we have done in the function blocks, if you remember, and if you saw it. This is the minimum information that we need in order to read and write. Okay, so the same thing needs to be configured over here. Okay, why sometimes I don't use the IOScanner? It's because some of these parameters are fixed. Okay, so if you need some kind of versatility here, I will probably use the function blocks. Okay, but this is the easiest way to work with third party or any slave device. So starting address is going to be the 50. Okay, here the polling time, I'm going to use continuous reading, or you can specify a time in order to see the information. Okay, I'm just going to use continuous read. Timeout, right, 1 second. Wait for send, 10 milliseconds. So in order to resend, we just need 10 seconds. For the writing, I'm going to start for the 60. Point time, every time, doesn't matter. And this the same. Now, the reading. Holding registers. Here, you can add as many registers as you want, but this register needs to be linked to a variable. So we need to create the variable first. And where we need to create that? On the status. So here, I'm going to M221, MW50. Okay, and then here is going to be the 60. We need to create those variables on the status war in order to make it work. Okay, I'm going to compile. Okay, good. So now that we're gonna back here the holding register, here you just need to assign. So assign, and here you can see the list of variables. Okay, otherwise it's gonna be empty. So here I have already created this one, assign. 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 Okay. In the other way, you just need to create a buffer, and then you just need to read information from that buffer. Okay. Here, no. Because, for example, here, in order to read information, for example, for the first, this is, I didn't explain that in the previous one before. So in order to use the information that you are going to read, I should have explained this in the previous one, but I forgot. So move. Space to change the view. Space. So in order to use this to write, for example, that information I have, and the view 50, no, to read that, should be able to create a variable, and then here I need to specify this buffer, and here I need to use between brackets number 0. Okay, and if I wanted to write this, it's the opposite way. So I'm going to put it over here, and space, delete this one, delete this one, it's going to be MW60 of this side, and then the buffer on this one. But here in the buffer, I just need to use the register or the position in the buffer. It's going to be 0. Okay, this is what I didn't mention in the previous video, but you get the idea now. So instead of doing this additional step, we have to create a variable already here in the status, and then here we link that directly. So we avoid to doing that in the software. But as you can see, this is going to be fixed. It's just fixed. Everything is fixed, which is fine because that's it. But if you want some kind of versatility, then you just need to go to the function blocks. So here I'm going to add 4 registers to read, assign. So something different compared to the other one is that I don't mention the amount. I just need to add register because we need contiguous register, so the system knows what I'm going to read and write. Okay. Now that this is fine, okay, there is something that we need to check. So in the previous part, we saw here that I have in order to write to the MW50, I need to add 1. The same will be applied here. Okay, and that is because of the Modbus, how it works. So you can see starting from 1 to 61, so I need to add 1 to this one. So 61, and this one is going to be 51. And as soon as I change this, it will change this position. But this is something I need to configure over here to read the right position on the other side. Okay. So now I have already configured this. As I have made a configuration over here, it's important to make a full download of this. Otherwise, it will not work. So, are you sure you want to download all? Yes, I'm 100% sure I want to download all. Just wait for it. Yes. Okay, it's downloading the program, and it's important here to know what we're going to do, which is the main difference between the IOScanner that we have compared with the function blocks. So that is important thing in trying to show you the good things or the bad things in both methods that we have. So then in the future, you know which one is going to be the best one for your application. So let's see if this one has already come back to life. Not yet. Okay. So the program inside, going to connect. Yes. So this is the previous program. I'm not using the things in the software, so I can delete this part. Now what I need to do is to drag and drop all this. There is no multiple selection, I'm afraid, so you need to put all one by one. So I'm going to use this one over here. Oh, you can start seeing some data over there, which is fantastic. Okay, so I open the M221 programming, and let's go to the MW50. So here you can see I'm reading the MW50, which is fine. 444. La la la. 3, and it's reading perfectly. So if I modify this 4, let's do 11, 20, 22, 33, 44, 55 on the M221, that information should be here. Okay, so you can see here this is very straightforward, and then you can use this in your program directly without using the buffer as I show over here. Okay, so this is how you can use the Modbus IOScanner for serial on the M172. performance or optimize. Then what we're going to see is how we can customize a device to use in the IOScanner and how we can troubleshoot in this. Okay, so this is it for the IOScanner, and I hope you saw the real differences compared with the function blocks. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you on the next one.